Disclaimer: a few knowledge about front-end website development might be needed in order to understand the entirety of this video. First of all, thank you so much for the positive response from the previous video. That was actually my first tutorial video and I'm really grateful for the positive responses. There is one comment on the previous video that I actually interested about. It is about implementing animation on your custom PP counter. So this is actually quite tricky question to answer back then, because while it is possible, it will require you to install a lot of OBS plugins and I don't think it would be very effective. So another method has to be used. Introducing website-based PP counter. Website-based PP counter is just your ordinary PP counter, but instead of application or OBS based, we are actually using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to design and show our data. The benefit of using website-based PP counter is you can implement a lot of stuff that you cannot do on my previous tutorial videos, like animation, HP bar, strain graph, etc. And it is also easier to install. So about a month ago, a user named Blackshark has actually released a really neat tool to connect OS to browser easily. It's called gosumemory, gosumemory. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. And this application has been used by some notable users like CPOL, Ryucase, Sotarks, etc. What this application does is just basically taking data from OS, put it on JSON file, and set it using WebSockets so that we can use it on our website-based PP counter. Now, installing the app is actually pretty easy. Just go to the GitHub link below, click on Release, download the latest release, extract it anywhere you want, click on the exe, and then you can open OS, go to Song Selection, and then open Browser, and go to localhost port 24050. Pick the design you want and you are good. Now for adding it to OBS, just open OBS, add browser source, put the link according to the design you have chosen before, set the size according to the readme on the design, and you are done. Now, installing the app and using publicly released design is one part, but how do you make a custom design from that? Well, first you can go to localhost port 24050/JSON to see all of the available data. Then make a new folder in static folder, and with some front-end web development skill, you can make anything you want. If you want to show the PP counter only when you're playing, you can see the state info in the JSON, and only showing the PP counter only when the state is right. You could also implement animation using CSS animation and transition. You could implement HP bar using health information from the JSON, etc. You could see the publicly released design for some references, and if you can code, the sky is the limit now. You can also submit your design to be used publicly by making a pull request to the static Git repository. And if your design is good enough, they might include the design on the next release. So I will not show you how to code and design step by step, but for references, you can actually watch my previous live stream on how to design custom PP counter from scratch. In that live stream, I made PP counter from the base design, implementing the design on HTML and CSS, putting the data, implementing HP bar, and also implementing a strain graph. And you can see the result on the screen right now. As usual, you can comment or contact my social media for other questions. I hope you learned a new thing from this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.